Not in the dramatic fantasy they once imagined, not in the convenient timing they kept waiting for, not in a moment where everything was perfectly aligned and easy. It hits them in the quiet. It hits them when the distractions stop working, when the noise fades, when the room is full, yet something still feels missing. It hits them when they realize the person they thought would always be there is no longer standing in the same place. For a long time, they moved as though time was infinite. They assumed there would always be another chance, another opening, another soft reply, another moment where they could return. Without having truly changed, they believed access would remain, simply because it once existed. And many people learn too late that presence is a gift, not a guarantee. So they delayed. They said they needed space. They said the timing was off. They said they were confused. They said they had too much going on. Sometimes those things were partly true, but often beneath all of it was something harder to admit. Fear. Fear of being seen deeply. Fear of being accountable. Fear of loving something real enough to change them. Because real connection asks more than attraction ever will. Attraction can stay shallow. Connection asks for honesty. Attraction can be visited casually. Connection asks for consistency. Attraction can survive on fantasy. Connection demands reality. And many of them were not ready for what loving you would require. So they chose delay over depth, distance over vulnerability, control over surrender. And for a while, that seemed to work. They continued on. They stayed busy. They entertained themselves. They tried other paths. They convinced themselves that if life kept moving, the feeling would dissolve. But unresolved truth has patience. It waits beneath surface motion. It lingers beneath new experiences. It follows people into rooms where they pretend to be fulfilled. And eventually, what was avoided returns. Now it hits them. It hits them when they notice no one else affected them the same way. It hits them when conversations feel empty, next to the depth they once resisted. It hits them when praise from others still does not soothe the place your absence touched. It hits them when they remember how safe honesty could have been if they had chosen it sooner. And it hits them hardest when they sense you changing. Because this is where the dynamic shifts. For a long time, they thought the story depended on them deciding. They thought they were the gatekeeper of movement, the chooser of timing, the one who could come and go, while your heart remained nearby. But then something happened. You changed, not loudly, not with revenge, not with performance, quietly. You became less available to confusion, less attached to mixed signals, less willing to abandon yourself for potential. You started returning to your own center. You poured energy back into your life, your body, your peace, your future, your standards. You stopped making someone's hesitation mean something about your worth. You stopped reading silence as destiny. You stopped romanticizing delay. And when someone was used to your emotional availability, that shift is deeply felt. Because absence is one thing, detachment is another. Absence can still feel temporary. Detachment feels real. And many of them are feeling that now. They sense your energy no longer circling them. They sense the tether weakening. They sense that if they do not act honestly soon, they may meet a version of you that no longer needs what they offer late. Now it hits them. That growth continued without them. Now it hits them. That peace found you anyway. Now it hits them. That while they were delaying decisions, you were becoming someone new. This realization can be painful, not because you harmed them, but because consequences finally became visible. There is a unique ache in realizing you were loved sincerely and mishandled it. There is a unique ache in realizing the person you thought would wait learned how not to. There is a unique ache in realizing you mistook patience for permanence. So what happens next? For some, pride breaks. For some, denial breaks. For some, the image they held of themselves breaks. Because it is difficult to keep calling yourself confused when clarity arrives through loss. It is difficult to keep saying timing was the issue when what changed most was courage. It is difficult to keep blaming circumstance when the real barrier was fear. And this is where some finally begin the work. Not performative work, not posting quotes, not saying they are healed, not dramatic declarations. Real work, looking at patterns, facing avoidant habits, learning communication, owning selfish choices, feeling grief without numbing it, building consistency where there was chaos. Some will do that. Others will only feel regret without transforming. And this matters because being hit by consequences is not the same as changing. Pain can awaken someone, but awakening still requires action. So if someone returns after this season, do not measure them only by emotion. Anyone can feel loss. Measure them by capacity. Can they communicate now? Can they stay steady now? Can they respect boundaries now? Can they meet truth without disappearing? Can they love in ways that protect rather than destabilize? These are the real questions. Because many people miss someone, far fewer become safe enough to build something new. And you must honor that difference. You did not grow just to accept less, because someone finally felt the consequences of their own delay. You did not heal to become a reward for late awareness. You did not choose yourself to hand that self back cheaply. So if they come now, let them come honestly. Let them come clearly. Let them come consistently. Let them come without expecting. That longing alone earns access, because the version of you standing here now was built through seasons they did not carry. You learned to soothe yourself. You learned to rebuild your confidence. You learned to trust your intuition again. You learned to walk forward without external certainty. That version of you deserves reciprocity, not promises, not urgency born from panic, not attention sparked by scarcity. Reciprocity, mutuality, presence. And this is the hidden gift of now it hits them. It is not merely about them realizing your value. It is about you realizing you no longer need someone else to confirm it. That changes every future interaction. When someone reaches for you now, it is not from a place of your emptiness. It is from a place of your wholeness. And wholeness chooses differently. Wholeness notices red flags faster. Wholeness does not confuse intensity with integrity. Wholeness does not over-explain itself to people committed to misunderstanding. Wholeness can love deeply without abandoning discernment. So yes, now it hits them. Now they feel what silence cost. Now they understand. That time did not freeze your life. While they hesitated, now they see that what was once easy to postpone has become sacred to earn. But let this be remembered too. The most important realization was never theirs. It was yours. You learned that your value existed before they recognized it. You learned that your peace matters, even when no one applauds it. You learned that leaving the door open forever is not the same as love. You learned that choosing yourself can become the very thing that changes the entire dynamic. So if they feel it now, good. Let truth do its work. Let consequence teach what love once tried to teach gently. Let realization move them where excuses could not. And if they come forward transformed, you will know by the steadiness they carry. If they come forward unchanged, you will know by the confusion they bring. Either way, you are no longer trapped in waiting. That chapter ended. The moment you chose yourself, now it hits them. But you already moved.